Hey, welcome to Cast. I'm Hammy, hope you are well and good, and we are going to be taking a look today at a slightly different deck. It's not a freeze Control Mage, shock and horror. It is a little bit of a different Control Mage that we saw kicking around. So without further ado, let's do a 2-minute intro to this. Afterwards, if you want to see the deck in action and a bit more of an in-depth guide and play and learn, have a look at the link at the end of the video. But we've got 2 minutes, so let's jump on in and get this going in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we're taking a little bit of a look at this Control Mage by Livemorph. It is a little bit different to your average. It decides to take advantage of the fact that Mirror Entity is so commonplace and that people automatically assume Mirror Entity off mid-rangey Control Mages. So what it does, and this deck has hit Legend, is take Control Mage elements in the early game. It doesn't go full freeze. It will only drop 3 secrets. You've got 2 duplicates and the Spellbinder, which is the interesting thing about this deck. If you play Spellbinder correctly and in the right times, effectively your opponent seeing a mage playing secrets is probably going to assume that initially you're going to be playing Mirror Entity, and then after that probably finding duplicate. So they'll assume counter spells. If you drop this Spellbinder at the right time, then you'll be able to really kick in and disrupt your opponent in a lot of different ways. So innovates and similar. How do you play? Well, in the early game, Mana Worms into Frostbolt, the usual spell combos to try and get the table under control. Unstable Portal, Mad Scientist to pull in your secrets for cheap to nothing. Duplicate helps you refill the table and refill your hand to keep putting pressure on. Ideally drop Duplicate when you've got nice big minions that you want to keep cycling. You'd probably quite like to have some cycling of piloted shredders or water elementals, for example, rather than things like the Mad Scientist. So if you can duplicate when you've got bigger minions on the table, all the better. Because it's a Control Mage, you're making good and beneficial trades, keeping the table under control. Big Game Hunter used to zap the big minions that come in. Control Mage for your free secret play. Mind Control Tech, 4 minions on the table, steal something useful against aggro. Everything in this first half you're using to keep the table under control. Kezan Mystic, popular in this meta, good for secret switching, and then some really chunky minions in the mid game. You're controlling, get your health back up with water, with anti-killbot. Freeze, great against weapon stacks with the water elemental, and trades with the shredder. Harrison Jones works against paladins and anything that packs a weapon, and again will swing tempo in your favour. Belches secure the table. Sylvannas can switch the table in your favour in the late game. You have Boom as a finisher, Flame Strike as a control card, and Ragnaros to finish. But the interesting inclusion as we hit our 2-minute mark is Toshli. A little bit of an unusual one, but Toshli, seen in mech mages, 5 attack and 7 health, a really strong minion, great stats for his 6 drop, and also the 2 spare parts on Battlecry and Death Rattle will really help in terms of some little trades and control. So an interesting Control Mage, a little bit different to your usual. Very much looking forward to seeing how this plays. So if you'd like to see this deck in action, hit the link in the left. We're going to play it for a few games and have a look at it in a bit more depth. Or if you'd like to see some more 2-minute Hearthstone guides or similar, take a look on the right. You can subscribe, see more videos from us. So, what I'm going to say is thank you so much for tuning in. If you're live on stream at twitch.tv/Cast, don't go away. If you're on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, or let us know what we can improve if this wasn't your cup of tea. We just want to make better content for you. Thanks very much for tuning in, and hopefully